Hi, this is Lisa with Paper Pastiche, and I'm here to bring you the 6th card in our 12 Days of Christmas Cards series. And I have this really nice window image here for you, and let's get started. So the die that I am using is this Grand Madison window, and it is made by Poppy Stamps Inc. And the supplies that we'll be using today is you will need some embossing powder. I have Martha Stewart ivory in here, and you'll need ink. I have Distress inks here in Black Soot, Dusty Concord, and Stormy Sky. You'll need a sentiment of some sort. I have a Peace on Earth sentiment from Stampin' Up. And I have the Lovely as a Tree. This is an older stamp set. They may still have this one, I'm not sure. Some Versamark. Embossing powder. This is iridescent ice. And embossing powder sterling silver, and also the heat and stick powder for the iridescent ice. I also will be using a Martha Stewart branch punch. You'll need some sponges for your ink pads. Some Stampin' Dimensionals. Double-sided adhesive. Always keep some scissors around. Embossing folder. And today you might also like to have a heat gun. And you'll also need a Cuttlebug. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of paper cut at 8.5 by 4.5, scored at 4.25. When you're making multiples of a card, this is a good time to make 2 window dies at a time. We cut them out 2 at a time. Whenever you cut them out 2 at a time, you get the embossed image as well, and you don't have to do a separate pass through the Cuttlebug to emboss it. So the second image will be slightly fainter than the first, but it will still be there and will still be embossed. So that's what these 2 pieces are for. I'm going to run through 2 at a time. And then you'll need one at 4 inches in a coordinating color by 5.25 inches. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is our window. So I'm going to grab my 2 pieces of cardstock here, and I'm thinking about, so I don't get this on there, which way it's going to be. I think I want to do it this way. Okay. If not, I've got more. So you'll need your A plate on bottom, and then you'll need a C plate. Set it on top of the C plate with the image facing up, the die facing up, your paper on top, and run it through. Those snapping and popping sounds are normal for the die cut. So you're going to have, here, let me set this aside. Okay, So, me being me, I would save these little squares. They're just so perfectly cut little squares, and I'm sure that they can be used for something else. So, if your die is stuck in there, it doesn't want to come out, there are little holes in the back of this to help pop it out. You can push something through there. Okay, there we go. And I'll set those aside. So, the next thing then that we're going to need is our card base. I'm going to fold that in half and then grab our gray piece, our coordinating colored cardstock, and the Versamark. Going to stamp our image down here on the bottom. Okay. And grab my scrap piece of paper here that I'm using. I am putting the sterling silver embossing powder on here. Shake that off. Dump the remaining back in. And grab my heat tool. No, don't you like my image there? It's scratch paper, and my son had to do a report on feet. Okay, so we've got that on there, and I'm going to let it cool just a little bit so I don't smear it. And then I've got a piece of white paper here. And we can cut this to that 3 inches, I think will do it. Yeah, 3 inches will do it. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is grab our Versamark again, our Lovely as a Tree stamp. I am using, hold on, there's a little something on there. These three trees here. So I'm going to stamp those in the Versamark. I'm going to come down a little ways, I want to leave room for my night sky. Stamp that on there. Grab my white embossing powder. Oops, I hope I didn't smear it. Sprinkle that on there. Get a little brush here and clean off some areas. Okay. Heat emboss this. I love embossing, it's so fun. I don't know if you can see on there right now. I have a white on white image, but we will continue on. So earlier when I was practicing, I had done one of the images and then I cut it in half to make a mask for the snow and for the tree area. So the next thing that we're going to do is the background, the sky. So I'm going to do the Dusty Concord, and then the Stormy Sky, and then the Black Soot. So switch this out. And get the Dusty Concord. Put my mask in place here. And then I'm just going to ink a little Dusty Concord on there. Grab my next sponge. And then kind of blend in some of this stormy sky and over it. I have to put a few layers over here to kind of darken it to how I want it to be. Okay, and then next we'll grab our sponge for our black soot and put some of that on there. Oh. Okay. That is not my best blending job, but all right. Okay, I get the idea. And let's put this away. So the next thing we want to do is grab the other half of our embossing mask here. And grab our Versamark again. Tap some on there. Hopefully I got some good coverage there. And then to get this iridescent ice to stick good, you need to use this heat and stick powder. Okay. And put that back in there. And heat set that. Okay, then we'll take our iridescent ice, sprinkle that on there. And heat set that. Okay, the next thing I am going to do is take a white gel pen and put some little stars in the sky. You don't have to go too crazy with this because you'll get the general idea. Put down some down here, just a little bit lower. Okay. So now we're going to take our window and fit it in here as we would like. I think I need to trim mine down on the sides just a little bit. And at the bottom, obviously. So there's my bottom, and I'm going to trim just a little bit off of that side there. Now I got a little ink on my window down there. Okay, so I think that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is put a little adhesive on the back of our window. I'm just going to use this double-sided tape here. This is a score tape, and it is one of my favorite adhesives. You can tear it, you don't have to cut it. This particular one is an 1/8 inch one. Put another strip maybe down here. Okay, put those down. Oh, I know I am probably getting black all over. I didn't clean my work surface there. So grab a wipe. There, that might have something to do with it. Okay, give it a quick dry. Okay, so I peel off this tape backing here. Alrighty. And I'm going to stick that down. I think I'm going to add a few more little stars in here. Okay. So let's adhere our card base, our map, to our card base. Make sure we got our card turned the right way. Center it top to bottom and left to right. Stick it down. Gonna grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to use 5. Let's see, try it on. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to peel off the backing. There you go. And center that above our sentiment. And then using your punch, your Martha Stewart Branch punch, I punched it out of the, you just want it to coordinate, but I had some scraps left over here of this metallic paper, and so that's what I'm using. So I'm going to put 3 on each side. So I'm going to put just a little dab of hot glue here at the top, and then working as quickly as I can, I'm going to put these in there. I don't want it sticking too far beyond my thing there. Be careful using the hot glue. I have asbestos fingers. It doesn't even burn me anymore. But you can get some nasty burns from that hot glue. Okay, so it looks a little funky right now, but I think when we get our ribbon on there, it will be good. So I've got some purple ribbon here. I'm just going to start at the end, make a loop, wrap it around, grab it through if I can. I'm trying to keep it small because I want a small bow. And of course you only have problems with it when you're doing it on camera. Let's try again. Well, I really don't usually have that much trouble with it. Okay. So let's size our bow here. Trim up our ends. Put another little dab of hot glue. And stick our bow down. And there we have our 6th day of Christmas in our 12 Days of Christmas Card series. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.